You are probably wondering why I'm dressed like this. Well, in today's episode, I will introduce you to the Pyro System, its planets, moons, and other locations of interest, and their history and lore. And that episode starts right now. The Pyro System consists of 6 worlds held hostage by a variable type M main sequence star with unpredictable solar flares. This flare star has stopped any chance of life developing in the system. Curious astrobiologists even examined the planets in Pyro's fluctuating green belt and have thus far found no evidence of indigenous life forms. It seems the first signs of life to ever present in those systems were brought there through one of its 7 jump points. The jump points connect Pyro to Cano, a bidirectional small jump point, Terra, a bidirectional small jump point, Stanton, a bidirectional medium jump point, Castra, a bidirectional large jump point, Oso, a bidirectional small jump point, Hadrian, a bidirectional small jump point, and Nix, a bidirectional medium jump point. The system was first visited in 2493, 24 years after the first person suspected something was there. In 2469, the watch officer of the roustabout, an Earth flag tanker ship moving through the Cano system, noted a gravitic anomaly 30,000 kilometers off the transport's port bow. A detailed report was sent to the ship's corporate owners and eventual namesake, Pyrotechnic Amalgamated, but no action was taken. 24 years later, when Pyrotechnic was seeking new mining territories, they began reviewing old scan records when it noted the original report from the roustabout. They dispatched an explorer to the region to formally discover Pyro and chart its environs. This survey simply noted the overall disarray of the planetary system, the difficulty of finding transportable resources, and the unlikelihood of successfully transforming anything there. Pyro is a lawless frontier system with a bright central star undergoing a prolonged nova phase. Pyro's sun went nova long before mankind reached for the stars, and little is known of the original makeup of the system. 6 burned-out planets remain, none of which are capable of supporting life. Every planet in the system is at some level of decay, from Pyro 1's slow infusion into the star to Pyro 4 being knocked out of orbit by a meteor strike and slowly being subsumed by Pyro 5, a gas giant. The least damaged world in the system, Pyro 6, is still an uninhabitable world, noted mainly for the fact that it is the home of Ruin Station, populated by Pyro's only permanent inhabitants, primarily pirates and other criminals seeking to lay low or happy to have it. Pyro is a main sequence flare M in the Pyro system. It is a bright but ultimately dying star. Pyro went nova long before mankind reached for the stars. Subsequently, it cannot sustain native life. Any improperly shielded spacecraft will sustain residual damage from this star while making transit through the Pyro system. Pyro 1 is a charred black rock that is slowly disincorporating into Pyro's star with every subsequent solar flare. The space around Pyro 1 is difficult to navigate with anything but the highest quality shields, though some industrious outlaws have attempted to utilize the dangerous flares as makeshift reactors for more complicated refining processes. The Kiro cluster, or Pyro cluster alpha, is a charred cluster of blackened asteroids. It is in the same orbit as Pyro 1. While mostly worthless, some rare materials can be found here. During the system's initial discovery, the coreless Pyro 2 was a major focus. The planet held seemingly significant deposits, and a minor metal rush saw human trade ships quickly try to harvest what they could. The planet today bears the scars of these quick and dirty mining operations, with a sparse transient population who drift through hoping to find a vein that might have been overlooked during the initial boom. The surface of Pyro 3 has been reduced to magma thanks to the flares from the system's star. Some scientists believe that the large celestial body that knocked Pyro 4 out of its orbit might have also nudged Pyro 3 closer to the star. The combination of Pyro 4, a Mercury-like protoplanet, and Pyro 5, a massive yellow and green gas giant, is one of the most striking cellular landscapes yet discovered in known space. Arguably a single entity now, Pyro 4 and 5 are the result of a massive meteor strike that altered the orbit of the former into the latter. Pyro 5 now appears to be subsuming Pyro 4 in slow motion, a visual difficult to top anywhere else in the galaxy. Pyro 5 is also the home of 6 natural satellites, all named after some aspect of fire. Ignis is the innermost moon of Pyro 5 and is covered in deep canyons and dried riverbeds. No other signs of water remain on its desiccated surface. Vur is rich in carbon and little else. The crater-ridden surface of Adir is broken only by a 700-kilometer-long streak of slick, shiny obsidian in its southern hemisphere. Frequent earthquakes rock Pharaoh, causing spectacular waves in its lava ocean. The thick, high-pressure nitrogen-methane atmosphere of Batra hides lakes of hydrocarbons. High amounts of iron sulfide and fuego soil turn it a livid shade of yellow-black. Pyro 6 is the outermost planet in the Pyro System. This protoplanet is notable mainly for the fact that it is the home of Ruin Station, populated by Pyro's only permanent inhabitants. Originally built by Pyrotechnic Amalgamated to serve as a hub for their operations in the system, it was only in use by the company for a short time before it was abandoned along with any hopes of earning profit from this desolate system. Once the system was generally vacated by corporate research and mining interests, the dilapidated station quickly fell into use as a meeting place for squatters, runaways, and black market deal-making. It was around this time that it earned its moniker, Ruin Station, as many who traversed its crumbling halls did so with the risk of the station collapsing around them. Yet, despite the dangers, the hideaway's popularity only grew. It was only a matter of time until it followed the same path as Spider, with outlaws gradually adding to the station's infrastructure and developing a unique subculture. However, where Spider's culture centers around honor among thieves, Pyro is based more around whoever has the most guns wins. Make no mistake, Ruin Station is not suitable for tourism, regular trade, or even experienced bounty hunters seeking the thrill of combat. The outlaws that do crew the station are notorious for their use of violence. Recently, advocacy reports list Xenothreat as the current pack in control of the station, but this may change at a moment's notice. A highlight of Ruin Station's dimly lit halls is Corner 4, a sequence of former research labs converted into drug factories and no questions asked medical treatment facilities. Neutrality, the station's requisite dive bar, is the only arguable safe place in the station. Armored toughs called cousins keep the peace here, at least in so much as they are needed to protect the bar's staff and facility. Well, that's the Pyro System. Stay tuned for more systems in the future. See you in the verse, and happy mining!